but honestly, let's just get back the discussion on track. We're here to discuss about Shorin Nonoki, and we've had a tough week with Shorin Nonoki. Let's get a lowdown from Ankita. Ankita, you have been quiet on social media, and that's because you were not well for a few days. And I know Chandra did let us know that you come in overground just for this. So tell us what's going on and what's going on with you.
Yeah,
We know the situation in India isn't all that great. We've been aware of it. We've been in touch with the situation there. But we also know that you yourself have not been keeping well too.
yeah,
But
yeah. I just got vaccinated, so I was down with that, and some personal reasons also. So, but I had to come, so I just took a small detox from social media for a while. But I have to come and do this because you guys are so much fun, and for our show.
that we know. That we know. Even I got my second shot too. So half my body isn't working. The left side of my body is actually numb. This is my second Moderna, and that's what happens to me every time I get a shot. But yeah,
But it's
we're in
important to
action.
get vaccinated. It's important to get vaccinated.
Yes, and this is what we would say to everybody who's holding
Yes,
off
please.
on getting vaccinated. It is not only important for you to get vaccinated, but it is very important for you to get vaccinated because you will prevent the spread to other people around you. Not only is it good for you, but it's also good for other people around you. So please do it as a civic duty. Get yourself vaccinated as and when the vaccines are available around you, wherever you are.
Yes, yes, please. Okay, so I have two messages first. So can I give that first?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so first message is for Scott from my friends, and they love him. Like he is their favorite. They love his reactions to the Indian things he doesn't know, and he gets so excited. Scott, we all love you. You're our favorite.
Thank you.
And second, I seriously want to give a huge shout out to this whole team and cast and crew of Shaurya and Oki Ki Kahani. The way they have handled KV's absence and shown unity deserves a very big round of applause.
It does.
It does. Yes. So yeah, that's it. So now the weekly review.
Let's
Are
hear
you going
what
to start,
happened this
Miraj?
week.
Yeah. So okay. So I think we can divide this week into three parts actually. Okay, so we have Anokhi. We have more of family dynamics coming up. And then we have the topic of our week, which is domestic violence in regards to Anokhi's sister, Bubbly. So we have Devi and Astha. Devi, we all know, as we say, it's conditional love. But she does love Shaurya in her own twisted way. And then we have Astha, who is finally realizing her mistake, which she did 25 years ago. Like she thought Shan was there taking care of Shaurya, but she sees now how neglected he has been towards their son. He has let others take care of him. We have that scene also. He says, "बहुत लोग हैं ध्यान रखने के लिए उसका." So she's realizing her follies now. So maybe now she won't back off, and she will stand as a big support to Shaurya and maybe Anokhi too in the story. I want to know your take on this.
Okay, let's get you going with all three, and then we can come back to them. Now let's revisit them one by one.
Okay.
So what the
Okay.
second, yeah.
Second is Anokhi, and I see a lot of different opinions being formed, like she's being too cold. I mean, everybody's entitled to their views. Like people say she's being too cold. We are not seeing the tadap and the Junoon, since she's away from Shaurya. But I think it is quite, what can I say? It's feasible according to what her character is. This is who Anokhi is. She sees just the surface, and then she tends to incline more towards what woman in her life says. We saw when Reema and Kanchan explained to her, she ran to Goa to make fences with Shaurya. Then but Astha has been such a positive source of light in her life when she told him that yes, Shaurya broke the engagement because Shagun wanted to go to Cambridge for further studies. It's like she has blocked it all out. She has just blocked all the feelings and kept it in the one corner of her heart. All she wants to focus is like, no, it happened. It is too good to be true. All men are same. Let me just focus on my studies. it is that, when she dips the lehenga, it's like she's ripping apart her dreams of whatever, forever or happily ever after. And the third part is definitely Bubbly, which was gut wrenching, but is still a very harsh reality of the society we live in. Not only Asian, I think around the world, women compromises in marriage with the soch of log kya kahenge or parents or anything. They adjust, they get hit, they take verbal abuse, they take physical abuse just because they are too scared to let their parents know, or parents are unsupportive. So I think this was a very harsh reality they have shown, but they have shown the truth. So I think this is what this week was about. Over to you.
Okay, so Ankita very well summarized in terms of what happened this week with the show and how these three issues are very pertinent. I love the way you broke them down into three issues. Shreya, you are really Shreya. We have you here because, of course, you're needed. But Shreya Bopana, you are required here for this discussion, not only because the work that you do is very relevant. Um, the work that you do in your private life is very relevant to the issues here, but you have so much to add here, Shreya. Shreya, where have you gone?
Hmm?
Shreya, where'd you go?
No, I'm here. I
Yeah, yeah,
literally
yeah.
love to go
Were you
fill my
eating?
water cup. Don't mind me.
Hey, so from a domestic violence against women perspective, Shreya Bopana, girls, let me introduce Shreya otherwise to you.
Yes,
Of
please.
course, Shreya is a part of our team, but Shreya, on the other hand, she just graduated Carnegie with her MBA, and Shreya is also Miss America, India America 2020, and
Wow.
she runs a non-profit on the other end, and she deals with these issues as a part of a non-profit, and she does a lot of work around violence against women and other things. She also
Woohoo.
yes. So Shreya is such an accomplished, amazing, beautiful young woman that we love her to bits. And
Oh,
and let me just start with the first issue that you spoke about. The first issue you spoke about was conditional love between, and that's why uh, we started appreciating this series a lot because of different issues that it brings about. It is so relevant to our lives as South Asian women, not only
Yeah.
because you girls live in India, but as us living here in North America, these are issues that are very relevant to us as well. Because however far we live from the countries of our descent, countries of our origin, these are issues that are very relevant to our communities here as well. This dynamic between Astha and Devi, that entire scene, actually went back and revisited that scene again last night because
Mm.
Zen was over, and when Zen is over, he wants to watch the entire week again.
We got to have him
Marathon.
someday.
Yeah, he does a marathon on the entire week with his Shazam on because he has to download songs for some reason. So, so we were going over the thing, and that scene where Asta is standing by the statue and
Yeah.
she's thinking about her son and she's sad and she's lost. That entire scene, Devi is fine. She's absolutely, her face is normal till she looks at Asta's face, and then she deliberately pushes herself against Asta, and
Yeah.
then she acts as if she's crying.
Yeah.
So that is who Devi is. Devi has realized that Shaurya is antagonized by her, and he has walked out of the house very antagonized, and he's not going to come back to her. And for the first time ever, Shaurya has stood up for his mother. She
He did.
knows that things have changed. She knows that Shaurya is angry with her for pushing Shagun down his throat, and he's never and he whatever he said to her in private, he said to her in front of the family as well. He repeated things to her in front of the family. She knows that Shaurya is never going to be the same with her. So she's hedging her bets by making friends with Astha so that she can have Astha on her side if Shaurya doesn't get controlled by her. So she's going to try to control Astha to control Shaurya. That's her bet. So everything else is drama. For people like Devi, love and control are the same thing. There's nothing called love. It's all about control. Whatever you can control, you love. Whatever you cannot control, you grab it. Because if she were honest about anything that she was doing, in the very other breath, she wouldn't go and then threaten Anoki again. How did she think she'd get away with that? She's not thinking of consequences. All she wants is control.
She does.
So there is no congruence over there. The fact of the matter is that she doesn't realize that Anoki's so honest to her thoughts that she really doesn't care. And she doesn't realize the intensity that they still think that they can overcome the intensity that's in Shaurya's head. They think it's something that he will overcome. So they're all betting on different factors here that may or may not come true. But the fact of the matter is nobody's done a correct assessment because they're all throwing dots in the air. So this entire dynamic that you see between Devi and Astha is a very frail dynamic, which is woven by Devi to have control over the situation somehow. She still wants an upper hand. And this is the only way she can get an upper hand right now because there is no trust. The trust between her and Shaurya is broken. Shaurya is never going to come back to that trust situation with Devi again.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the fact you say because it's like that. It's like everybody just sees Shaurya from their own point of view. Devi thinks like she manipulated Shan years back. Like she didn't let him go. Even Shan was a weakling at that point because he didn't stand up with he didn't stood up with his fight years back. But Shaurya is different. That is what all these suburbs doesn't get. That even though he has some conditioning while growing up from Devi and Tej, Shaurya is his own person. And as you said, the trust is broken. The seal has been broken. And I was like, I dare you, Devi Sabharwal, to talk to Anoki the way you did when he was unconscious. It's going to be fireworks.
So I have to tell you, even Shaurya was smart about it because he knows that she's the one who did not let Anoki come inside the house. He did not ask that question of anybody. They don't know he knows that because they're explaining to him other stuff. They're fending off stuff like, oh, we didn't let you go to see her. He hasn't asked them, she came here, why didn't you let her come inside?
He knows everything. That is what. He knows everything. Like the guy has just woken up from the accident, but he's razor sharp.
So can I...
He is razor
sharp. Sure.
Yeah, please.
No, just want to point out, he asked, specifically asked, why are you in Goa? That guy was down. He got up. The first question he asked was, why are you in Goa? What other explanation does Devi have for landing in Goa? She doesn't.
They don't.
She doesn't.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he was stacked sharp. Yeah, so he was stacked sharp at that point. The other thing was, from the first day of the show, Devi has a prized possession by the name of Shaurya Sabharwal. See, Astha is a person in her own right. She's a professor. She's educated, right? Devi doesn't have something of her own. Like she can't have kids, or maybe, I don't know her backstory.
We know the backstory as yes, we know that.
We don't know her backstory as yet. Maybe she was traumatized, or maybe she had some issue because of not bearing kids. So she got Shaurya. Because of some reason, Astha left and she got Shaurya as a token. So she takes pride in Shaurya being who he is. She thinks she has made him Shaurya Sabharwal. She claimed the credit for making him such an eligible bachelor in the first episode. She tells Shan, thank you that you're complimenting my upbringing of Shaurya.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. So she does this. She tries to assert that she is her mother, like a mother. Like my mother wouldn't need to tell me I'm your mother. If she's confident in her.
Shaurya is the only validation. Shaurya is the only validation in her life.
Exactly. What values does she have in the Sabharwal household other than being, Shaurya Sabharwal's mother? Like, I know Tej has all the control of the properties and all. So I don't even understand that dynamic. How does that work? Because Shan is being shown as a useless, jobless person.
Yeah,
Alok
alcoholic,
is, yeah, alcoholic. Alok is shown as dumb person who's just having fun.
clown.
Yeah, basically
Alok
a
is there just to kiss
character.
ass.
Yeah,
Alok is there just to kiss ass.
no, but he's the one to watch out for, huh? I think he is really something like a wolf in sheep's clothing or something like that.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
the
He is.
underdog.
But I think we don't know about Tej and Devi's backstory. If they have some,
Exactly.
I hope we do get to see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Shan as a
Very.
father and husband both are useless.
Very pendulum. Like, I think the most irritating and annoying character of the show right now for me is Shan. I
I
can't get
agree.
him. I mean, one moment he's like standing up for Anokhi and Anokhi in this like in the first half of the series. In the second half, he is still supporting her, but the explanation he gave for Astha to agree to Shaurya and Shagun's match was that I think Anokhi is also got hurt, so she might have lied to you about like Devi
Yeah,
about his
that is
whereabouts.
what
And
we're
it's like,
saying. Na? That
yeah,
his
what?
sense of knowing persons is nil. He can't stand up for his own self, neither for his wife, neither for his son.
So I
It's
think
like
being
that.
an alcoholic has taken a toll on his mental health. He's zoned off half of the time. So
Yeah.
I think he's smoking something other than also drinking, probably. And we should cut him some slack for this. Maybe once he gets clean and join an AA and maybe take a lesson from Professor Asta Sabharwal, he might gain his like senses back. But we'll have to see for that to pan out. He's
Yeah.
the most beta character ever.
Yeah, when
He's
like
really a beta.
Khalid sir
Not
is
even
so
a
good,
beta,
but
an
then
omega,
like
I guess. I think even Alok is a beta, but Shan is an omega at this point.
Alok is still fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah, still. I think there should be a class clown competition between Vineet and Alok. And I think we should like have a war who wins both of in between the two.
Yeah. Over
Amazing,
to
amazing.
Mira.
So we're gonna wrap up this Devi versus Asta discussion here. So that's one part of the thing. Ankita, as you said, Anoki and why she's behaving the way she's. I think we're being hard on her. Now, I don't know how many of you been through a breakup. I have been through multiple breakups. And Shreya, you tell us. I mean, how many of you have been through breakups?
Does
Breakups.
Like
like
massive breakups.
one-sided crush not working out like count as a
Yeah.
breakup?
You guys
Like
are such
imaginary crush.
babies. What happened to boyfriends, real world boyfriends
I
breakups, no?
have gone through one and
But-
I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
enjoyable. Now, this is a separate breakup. The guy hasn't broken up with her. She has no idea what the guy's thinking. The guy hasn't given her his side. There's been no conversation after that day.
Yeah.
Remember that
Yeah.
thing. Now, here's this girl who has a presumption, and she is telling herself that what I think in my heart doesn't matter. My mind matters more than my heart. So there is this conflict between her heart and her mind, and she's trying to kill her heart. She's telling herself that what I feel in my heart doesn't matter. My mind should rule. And there's this conflict between heart and mind, and she's killing her heart to have her mind rule. And when that happens, girls, when that happens, that's the most difficult thing to ever undergo. And if I were that character, if I put myself in her shoes, and trust me, if you ever try to do that, I've tried to do that in a couple of relationships. It is the most difficult thing on goddamn earth. There have been times when I've gone to clubs and danced the whole night just to bloody feel good about myself. When you do crazy stuff to feel good about yourself because, hey, your heart is dead. There's nothing you cannot bring back your heart to like two things and not like four other things. That's not how the heart works. Because if you bring your heart up, it will like everything. It will bring back the memories, everything together. Your heart is not selective.
Yeah.
So you're killing your heart in one go and you're making your mind rule over your heart. So you got to absolutely either kill the whole of it or not have it at all. And what she's trying to do is kill it all. So what she's really suffering from is no heart right now. And every time she
Interesting.
sees anything of his, even when she's eating food, she's reminded of him. And then she tries to bring her mind back to rule her heart. She sees a dress that reminds her of him. She has no other way to take her heart, to kill her heart, except destroy it. So she's destroying her own heart to take. I mean, she is behaving exactly how a character who's trying to kill her heart has to behave. There's nothing outwardly worldly in the way she's behaving. She's behaving very true to her character arc.
Also, not to forget her age. She's just a 21-year-old. Like, what do people expect her to
Even if
understand?
she were 50-year-old, your heart is your heart. Even at 50, if you're in love,
Exactly.
your heart will behave exactly in the same
Yeah.
way. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
At 30, when you're in love, you behave like an 18-year-old. It is the same bloody feeling. The feeling does not change. You behave like a teenager. Your heart will behave in the same way as an 18-year-old heart behaves. The
Yeah.
heart will not change its character because of your age. If you're in
Also,
love
Miral, I
with somebody,
think,
you are in love with somebody.
yeah. Also, Miral, I think she's just building an armor around her heart, you know? She's just so scared. She just doesn't want to confront Shaurya and tell him what she has heard. So she's like, no, I won't confront him. I won't talk to him. This is what it is. Let me construct this armor and focus on my mind, as you said.
Because she doesn't trust her heart. She knows that if he comes and he tells her, she will. This
Break
entire
up.
resolve that she's built is going to go away. So what she's really doing with her anger, the anger is on her. She's angry with herself. It is
Yeah.
not. She's killing her heart. Her logical and her emotional side are fighting with each other.
Yeah.
She is
It
fighting
is.
with herself.
Yeah.
It's a facade. It's a facade she has
It's a
on.
facade. She's building it.
Okay,
She's
so
building it.
what happens is, like, there's a term called anesthesia, right? So she's on anesthesia right now. She's numbing her pain down to not feel anything right now. That's the only thing she can do right now. Because she knows if she talks to Shaurya, and see, the thing is, people expect her to trust a guy she met like what, 3-4 months ago. Like, when you're programmed that your trust will be broken by every guy you meet, including your father, including your brother, including your fiance. You are bound to have trust issues. People should cut her some slack that she has trust issues on men, and it's not going to go away just by love. It doesn't work like that. Trust takes a lot of time to heal. And remember, this is the same guy who has character assassinated her.
See,
Okay, and
that is
now
what,
she,
sorry, I think she does trust him, but the leap
yeah,
of faith with which we use, she doesn't
yeah.
have taken that.
So
See,
I think it's her journey of realization that for her he means more than anything else, and this is that journey.
Yeah.
So maybe this entire track will end there, where she realizes that nothing else matters except him, and she has to undergo this entire process of holding herself back before she can take that leap
Yeah.
of faith. And it's essential for her to pull back, not only for her, but
Exactly.
him also, for him to realize that he can do without her, for everybody around them to realize that it's not something frivolous that they can wish away, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's
it
like
is
all
an
the
essential
memories.
track for that emotion
It
to
is.
come out from everybody around them. That
Exactly.
this is not something that is just going to go away by them wishing
Ex-
it away.
Exactly.
So
Miral,
everyone who,
sorry,
sorry,
go on.
go ahead, Ankita. Sorry.
I'm saying the memories that she has are all of the times when Shaurya has stood beside her. But it's like she just shakes herself out and she remembers, oh no, the mind overtakes, as you said. The
Yeah.
memories are of all, like the ragging issue, the rustication issue. The heart remembers that man, but the mind is like, no, all men are the same. Let me just back away. And people keep saying, even the fandom keeps saying they need the emotional connect, as you said, Miral, very well, that this is that journey. They need that emotional connect. They don't know each other's past. They don't know what has shaped them, the persons they are today.
Okay, and also the thing is, like, whoever has been in a relationship would know this. and can vouch for it. A guy and a girl, or it's even somewhere, or in a relationship, a guy is or a girl is more into it than the other person sometimes. Like most of time it would be equal, but sometimes there is a situation that one person is more into a relationship than the other.
Yeah, over
uh,
here it's also the maturity. He's 10 years
yeah,
older than her, so he's surer of his emotions than she ever would be.
exactly.
So there are
Exactly.
so many factors here that would matter. So let's put that to rest. I think from a writer perspective, she is well on track with the character arc that she
Hmm.
should have. Her reactions are on spot. Honestly, if I were her, these would be exactly my reactions. If you put
I really hope.
yourself in her shoes, this will exactly what I would be doing. I'd
I
be
really
being
hope
brave in front of
people.
everybody, lying to everybody's faces that I'm fine, I'm brave. I'd be going out and partying. I've done this. I swear I have. Real
See,
life. I
I
have done
have
this.
tweeted it. I think if someone should see that if it was a progressive show, they would have shown Anokhi drinking and trying to have a good time and get over her breakup, because that's
People
what.
do that all the time.
Yeah,
Dude, we've done
exactly.
it. I've done it literally
I didn't
because
read that.
that's your coping mechanism because you want to divert your attention into
Yeah.
things that
Everyone
take your
has a
attention away
definition.
from these
Yeah,
things. This is what you do.
yeah,
Real life
sure.
I
in
really hope, Mirai,
IRL,
I
literally.
really hope, yeah, I really hope people take your word for this and cut Anoki some slack now.
Yeah, exactly. Please stop
I
bashing
really
Anokhi.
hope. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
please
no,
stop
there's
making
no
it
way.
about Shaurya
She
versus
doesn't
Anokhi.
know. This character is
Yeah.
right on spot. This is what you do when you break up. If you haven't had a
Exactly.
breakup, this is what you do. You divert your attention, and when you're trying to squash your own heart, this is what you do. When you're working with your mind, that conflict is what she's undergoing. So see her conflict. Somebody's trying to kill
Okay.
their heart and everything. So she doesn't do her normal things. She's killing her heart every day, literally.
Okay. So I hope the
Okay.
FD listens to you. Now the
Yeah.
final part.
Moving on to the domestic
Yeah.
violence side of it, I think this is something that's very close to our hearts.
Very.
And even more so because in the middle of a pandemic, this domestic violence as an issue has become a bigger issue with women at home, and and this being brought up in the show this week was disturbing to a great extent. It was disturbing to a lot of women like us. I've spoken about this before, and I speak about it quite a lot around the world wherever I go. I'm a domestic violence survivor myself, and I would speak to it that uh, domestic violence is not something that anybody should take lightly. Uh, Domestic violence is something that can incapacitate a person forever. Uh,
Mm.
and there is this entire one line in the series where Anoki tells her sister that you enabled it by taking it the first time. And a lot of women that undergo domestic violence, hindsight 50/50, that's what it is. Honestly, that's what it really boils down to. When you start taking it, that's the day you enable it. So you don't have to be educated, you don't have to be modern, you don't have to be brave, you don't have to be anything. All you have to be is respect yourself. You are not Nobody has a right over your body, nobody has a right over you as a woman, nobody owns you as a woman. You are your own person. And we should, as women, as girls, realize that the first thing, you have not, by marrying somebody, by living with somebody, by having a relationship with somebody, you have not given anybody the agency to your body or your mind or your soul for them to have the right to beat you physically, uh, verbally, or any other way. Abuse is not something that's only done physically, it can be done emotionally, it can be done verbally as well. Any of these things is the definition of violence, domestic violence. And none of this should be a part of your life. If you have anybody around you that is doing this to you, put a stop to it right now. It's up to you.
Hmm.
Having said that, I'd like for Shreya to say something. Shreya Bopna, you
Yes,
worked a
please.
lot in this, Shreya.
I mean, I personally don't know what the context of that is within the show because I'm not that deeply into it. But I think that when we think about situations such as domestic abuse and how they manifest, there's always a different path when it comes to every single person. And there's a different definition of what some people would consider domestic abuse versus others. So that makes it really easy to not understand if you're in a situation sometimes, which is what I'm picking up on from you guys talking. It seems like the characters are not completely aware of what's happening to them because they either are, one, oblivious to the situation, two, have been manipulated into thinking otherwise, or three, just simply like because they have like an outside view of like
it's second.
They are not able to.
Second.
Yeah, they just like, it's one of the three in all of the situations you guys have explained. So I can definitely understand why it's hard, because when you're in a manipulative relationship, you're sometimes so blinded by the person's actions, and that person is often like, they have some kind of hold on the other person. So for example, if you're like, oh yeah, I'm in love, well then that's a hold on you. If they're like, oh yeah, I really respect that person because of authority, because they're older, for whatever reason it may be, they've had a hold on you. So you kind of have a bit of blind faith going into it, and therefore you don't understand that it's manipulation, and that just manifests into worse problems. Like at that point, you're really held to those mirage beliefs in this relationship, and there are chains that you're just not aware of that you subliminally keep holding on to the point where you don't realize you can leave them.
Okay. See, the thing is, here's manipulation done by the patriarchal society we live in, especially in India. Girls are taught, no, shadi ho gayi. If you're married, you have to fix it. You have to survive it. You can't be a divorcee. People would want a dead daughter more than a divorced daughter. That is a society we live in. And that is what has been fed to Anoki's sister by her mother. She has seen her mother being beaten by her father, and yet she chose to stay in this marriage because she is not independent and she didn't want to be a burden. So she just takes it on.
And also, not to forget, domestic violence is not just only physical, it's emotional as well. If a guy is controlling you, telling you, don't wear this, don't go out there, don't talk to this person, that is emotional abuse as well. So don't take it. Don't let any man take control of any agency, be it physical, emotional, or anything. And see, the thing was, I really appreciate the makers of Shaurya and Anokhi for not showing the scenes of domestic abuse very brutally in this episode. Like, I would have appreciated it if it was a graphic, gory scene, would make really watch it really uncomfortable while watching it. I wouldn't have liked that so much, because I would have felt it was just added to, for the shock factor. But I'm really glad the makers didn't go for it. They just showed her battered and bruised and broken, and that was more horrifying for me to watch, rather than getting seeing her beaten up with a belt. Also, when Anokhi consoles her sister, Bubbly herself understands that this relationship is not an ideal one. She doesn't love Vinny. She's herself taking birth control pills. She doesn't want to get pregnant with him. She knows that. Also, the show also highlights that it's not always the non-educated Dehati people who's perpetuating violence. Vineet is a lawyer, for God's sakes. So I don't know what education has to do with domestic violence.
Whenever you see, he's an NCP. People define NCP. He's an NCP. Vineet is an NCP guy.
But there's a difference between being an MCP and an abuser. See, Shaurya was also...
Shaurya was termed as an NCP, but let's not go. Yeah.
It was shown, previously shown.
Yeah.
Now he's reformed.
But Vineet is an abuser.
Yeah,
he has this typical male superiority complex.
Yeah. Even Raja, her brother.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hanji, please, aap bolo, Shreya.
Yeah, Shreya.
We need your expert opinion. We want
Shreya
young girls to see this.
Guys.
Okay,
it's okay. It's okay.
Please. Shreya, please tell, so that young girls who will be watching this tomorrow know that, they shouldn't take this.
Sure.
Take this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please.
I think Ankita also brought up a great point where she was mentioning how I think sometimes we think that someone takes on domestic violence, or they just keep letting these things happen to them because they don't understand it. But it can also be the case where you understand it and you just don't have an alternative. And so you were mentioning how the mother won't leave the father, and I'm like, well, if we've already set up these characters in a way where they like the women are inferior to the men, so they're financially reliant, they're emotionally dependent, and their parents won't take them back, then like what are they going to do leaving? Like where are they going to go? They don't have the money, they don't have the status, like their parents won't take them. No, they don't really even know how to be on their own 2 feet. So like for them, they're like, am I going to be on the street? Am I going to be kind of like begging, looking for work for the rest of my life? Or do I stay in this abusive relationship, but still have at least like the basic necessities I need for survival? And at that point, they're literally looking for just that, survival. And when that kicks in, you let yourself be put into those situations just because you have no other option. So I think that's also important to consider.
Exactly. Financial independence. That is why we stress so much today that be financially independent. Right. And even Anokhi tells her today in the episode that you can earn, you can leave this guy. You don't have to be dependent on your parents or be afraid what your father is going to say. I think you run it.
Sorry.
Like Shreya runs an NGOs. I hope even in India we have such stuff, because I've seen people close to me staying in abusive marriages because they don't have anywhere else to go. And we know how unsafe India is for girls as well. So,
Also, Ankita brought up a really good point about there are NGOs working, there are helplines working. So if anyone is feeling that they want to talk, they want to get out of any relationship, they're in a physical danger, please call. And if you see someone getting hit, be it if it's a neighbor or someone close to you, please call cops on them. I don't know if it would help them, but it would be a moral responsibility as a citizen of to not for safety in general. So because of that, I feel people should like raise their voice. Even if they see something happening, they should raise their voice. I don't know if it's an ethical thing. Shreya, can you elaborate if people should call cops if they see something like this happening?
Yeah, I definitely can. So I know that there are helplines, and I think that the problem is sometimes people don't also know how to access them properly, or even if they do, they're worried. They're like, oh, if they come to my house and they're like, we need to check on you and your relationship with your husband. Once they leave, the domestic violence that has been happening, they're going to be like, you called somebody on me, and then it just gets worse. So
sure.
I think the best thing to do is, if you feel like you're in that situation where if you call someone and then once they leave, you're going to be in more danger, you can always tell people that. Like you can always say, I feel like I'm going to be in more danger once you leave. And therefore people, like a lot of these NGOs, make arrangements so that you are out of that space, like that space with a perpetuator. So just make sure that you are clear with everything that you think is going to happen to you, and no matter how bad you think it is, because the more information they have, the better they can help you. And I know a lot of people also worry about that, like, oh, if somebody else finds out, like, I think that honor is a really big thing in India, and I definitely understand it. But at some point, it crosses the line between like you're worrying about your safety and your health and your life. And then especially if you have other family members around you who are witnessing this, who are not stepping in, then you're providing a really bad example of how to be treated. So please, like, worry about yourself more than what anybody else will think about you. And I know it's really, really hard, especially when to the rest of the world, it seems like you have a perfect marriage and an absolutely perfect life and a perfect family. But at the end of the day, like if you're battered and bruised and like it's at the point where it's like literally hindering your safety and your personal space, like it's better to be alive than to be worrying about what other people are thinking about you. So safe than sorry. Don't ever let it get to that point. Like, and if you think that you're not comfortable with a lot of these NGOs like releasing any information, you can even say that, because a lot of them are like, governmentally protected to the point where they can protect your information. So at least to some extent, they can save face as much as you want to, but remember, save yourself more than you worry about what other people think.
Yeah, thank you.
And Shreya, absolutely right. You have to take care of yourself before you worry about what other people will say or think about you. Let them worry about themselves. They are not going to be the ones who will take the next beating or the next threat or the next abuse. You are the one who's taking the abuse and the threat. In America, we have a national domestic violence helpline, and if you don't know the number is 1-800-799-SAFE, 1-800-799-7233. You can also TTY at 1-800-7 987-3224, or you could go to thehotline.org, get help. You can chat live now over there without anybody finding out what's happening with your life. You can actually let them know what's going on with your life, and they will keep your information safe. They will also be able to help you with getting protection, and your information will not be shared with anyone else. And you will get all the protection that you require. They'll keep an eye on you, on your household, and protect you from domestic abuse. Please do not leave it till the last minute. If you feel that your life is in threat and you're getting abused, reach out. This is the
Uh,
time. Please do.
also in India, the what to adding to what Miralis was saying, women helpline number is 1091, and for women specifically for domestic abuse, it's 181, and police also you already know 100 call, please call, like
And
Miral said.
there are tons of women helplines. Guys, girls, please reach out, especially in this pandemic. When I read about it, the number of cases that have increased, it's horrifying to read about it.
Yeah.
Horrifying. You're
The number is
better
very
alive.
good to start with. Yeah, so 31% wasn't good a number to start with. So might this is not a glory like we want in, for our country, please.
Absolutely. And as South Asian women, we all got to stick together. If you feel any of your friends in your family, somebody is uh, being abused, we should all stick together, stand up for that person. I will tell you, in my case, I was able to stand up for myself because of my best friend. And she was the one who actually held my hand strongly and took me out of that situation. And I hope we all collectively can be there for each other. And honestly, there is no better friend than your best friend and then your friends. And so women, we need to learn to stand up for each other,
Yeah.
stand with each other through these times, especially in times like these when we all are under stress of a pandemic and we have to stay indoors as much as possible. So if you know somebody or you know of anybody who is undergoing such stress, this is the time for us to be with them. Having said that, we come to the end of the show and we come to
Yeah.
the end of this segment. Thank you so much, Ankita and Shreya,
Yeah.
for being a part of this very important domestic violence discussion. I think what Shaurya Noki Ki Kahani has done for us is thrown up these very important topics for us to discuss, and which we wouldn't have otherwise touched upon. And I guess we had a very structured discussion. Thank you, Ankita, for structuring it for us.
Yeah.
This is so well done. And thank you, Shreya, Ankita, for being here on our show, and to
Thank
Scott
you.
for listening in, for being so
Yeah.
patient with all the
Yeah.
women on the
With all the
show,
men, just
being the
I just
token
want to
man who listens in and is patient with the women. And thanks
yeah.
once again, guys. We hope the story moves on this week, and KV is back in action.